So thanks for joining. We're going to do a 90-minute 26 and 2 yoga class. To begin though, we're going to do 3 rounds of sun salutations just to warm up the body, and then we'll hop into traditional 26 and 2 yoga with the sun salutations as well as everything else we do in class. Remember that if something doesn't feel right for your body, you can skip it, you can modify, you can do something different. Yoga at times is challenging, and that's okay, but you're never going to a point of pain, a point where you can't breathe. The whole goal is to honor your body and to really listen to what your body's telling you. So for 3 rounds of sun salutations, come towards the top of your mat. I'm going to stand back a little bit and I'll show you in periphery. But the sun salutations, I'll try to give different options so that it's friendly to different types of bodies and different types of injuries. Just know that every movement in the sun salute comes with an inhale or an exhale. So come towards the top of your mat, bring your feet close together. Take a moment, rock the weight into your toes, bring the weight back into your heels, and then firmly root both feet on the floor. Just take a moment, draw your attention to the center line of your body. Take an inhale, and then exhale. The breathing we use in sun salutations is called Ujjayi breathing. It's similar to pranayama breathing. You're going to gently constrict your throat so that you breathe a little slower and longer, and that will help to generate heat in the body. So it's a slight snoring sound when you breathe. Okay, bring your hands together at heart center and begin Surya Namaskar A. As you inhale, lift your arms up overhead, looking up as if you're saluting, greeting the sun. As you exhale, suck your stomach in, bend your knees, and fold forward. Arms with your ears, put your hands on the floor, drop your head. Inhale into a halfway lift. You can have your hands on your thighs, your shins, or the floor in front of you. The goal is to have a nice long back, weight in your toes, hips over heels. As you exhale, bend your knees, put your hands on the floor, and step back either into a high plank or into tabletop. Now you have an option to stay here in your tabletop or plank, or you can take what's called a vinyasa. It's that push-up motion that we see in sun salutations. You want to go forward 2 inches, keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine, hug your elbows in, and slowly lower down. Inhale, come up into a back bend. You can do baby cobra with elbows bent, thighs on the floor, and chest lifted. Or you can do up dog with arms straight, thighs off the floor, and chest lifted. For up dog, the only parts of your body touching the floor should be your hands and your feet. Exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up for down dog. And if down dog doesn't work for you, you can take a child's pose instead. So every plank can be a tabletop, every down dog can be a child's pose. And if that lowering down motion, that back bend motion, that vinyasa doesn't work, go straight from your plank or tabletop directly into your down dog or child's pose. So there's lots of ways that we can make this friendly to different injuries or body types. So for child's pose, reach your arms forward and sink your hips down. For down dog, lift your hips up and press your heels down. Take an Ujjayi breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. On your next inhale, look forward, hands on the floor, step forward into a halfway lift, feet between the hands, chin away from your chest. Exhale, bend your knees, drop your head down. Inhale, root to rise, come up, bend your knees, arms with your ears, look up overhead. Exhale, hands down at heart center. Good, we'll do 2 more. Inhale, lift your arms up, looking up. Exhale, stomach in, bend your knees, fold forward, drop your head. Inhale into a halfway lift. You can have your hands on thighs, shins, or eventually the floor in front of you. Exhale, bend your knees, put your hands on the floor, and step back into your high plank or tabletop. Remember that you can go from here directly into your down dog or into your child's pose, or take a vinyasa. Go forward 2 inches, hug your elbows in, lower down. Inhale, come up into your back bend. Exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, down dog, bend one knee, straighten the other. So for child's pose, again, lengthening the spine, reach your arms forward, sink your hips down. For down dog, lift your hips up, press your heels down, drop your head, look for your shins. Spread your fingers wide, root down through all 28 knuckles, especially the space between your index finger and thumb. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears, that's the hard part for me, and take an Ujjayi breath. Slow inhale. Slow exhale. Inhale, look forward, step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, drop your head down. Inhale, reach your eyes, come up, arms overhead, looking up. Exhale, hands down at heart center. Last one, a little faster. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands on the floor, step back into your high plank. Keep exhaling, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, come up into your back bend. Exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, down dog or child's pose. For down dog, try to get your heels on the floor, maybe taking a slightly wider stance if that helps. Lift your hips, drop your head, press down through your knuckles, not just your wrists. Root down through the knuckles, lift your hips a little higher, drop your heels down, breathe. Take an inhale, take an exhale. Inhale, look forward, step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, drop your head, look for your shins. Inhale, come on up, looking up, arms over your ears, saluting the sun. Exhale, hands down at heart center. Good. So hopefully that got your blood and your body moving a little bit. From here, we will hop into traditional 26 and 2 yoga. Bring your feet close together, middle of your mat and towel, toes, heels touching nicely. Interlock your 10 fingers, cross your thumbs, and glue your knuckles underneath your chin. Rock your weight into your heels. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. You made it to class. Happy Saturday. Concentrate, meditate, and begin. Inhale, chin down and arms up. Breathe in through your nose. Lift your elbows up. Suck your stomach in. Fill up your lungs. Exhale, head up. Exhale through your mouth. HA sound, head back. Arms forward, elbows touch. Good. Inhale, chin down slowly. Bring your chin down. Look straight ahead. Lift your elbows all the way up. Fill up your lungs. Exhale, head up. Slowly push your head back. Look way, way, way back for the wall behind you. Arms forward, elbows touching away from your body. Inhale, chin down. Breathe in through your nose, down through your throat to the very bottom of your lungs. Exhale, head up. As you exhale, open your mouth wide like you're fogging up a mirror on the ceiling. Squeeze your palms, wrists, forearms, elbows together. Inhale, head down. So it's a small snoring sound against the back of the throat. Throat is a little bit constricted. Exhale, head up. So it kind of sounds like when you put your ear to a shell at the beach. Push your air out. Bring the arms forward, elbows touch. Inhale, head down. Exhale, head up. Elbows touch. Inhale, head down. Keep the weight in your heels. Glue your ankle bones together. Squeeze your inner thighs. Squeeze your butt. Exhale, head up. Lock your legs. Weight stays in your heels. Hips a little forward. Hip muscles contracting. Thigh muscles tight. Inhale, head down. Keep your spine straight. Just the neck spine is moving. The rest of the body stays still. Exhale, head up. So just your head drops back. No backward bending. Don't lean back. Keep shoulders over hips, hips over heels, weight in the heels. Inhale, head down. Abdominal wall contracted the whole time. Stomach in, eyes open, chin down, elbows up. Exhale, head up. Use your eyes to trace an arc along the ceiling. Look back. Reach your arms forward. Triceps parallel to the floor. Elbows touch. Inhale, head down. Last breath. First set, deepest breath of your day. Elbows a little higher. Lungs a little fuller, spine a little longer. Suck your stomach in, breathe deep, full lungs. Exhale, head up, take your time. Eyes open, hips forward, legs locked, stomach in. Keep exhaling, push, squeeze, elbows touch. Good, change. Arms down, you can roll out your shoulders, your head. Okay, second set, feet together. Interlock your 10 fingers, cross your thumbs. Glue your knuckles underneath your chin. Switch the grip, opposite thumb, pinky finger on top. Squeeze your thighs. Squeeze your butt, grow taller out of the base of your spine, and begin. Inhale, chin down and arms up, breathing in through the nose, against the back of the throat, creating a little bit of a vibration, snoring sensation. Exhale, head up, use your throat muscles, think of your throat like a valve. Breathe slower, longer, exhale more, elbows touch. Inhale, chin down, elbows up, stomach in, full lungs. Exhale, head up. head back, arms forward, elbows touch. Inhale, head down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Full lungs. Exhale, head up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, elbows touch. 1. Inhale, head down. Use the full 6 seconds to inhale. Slowly chin down as you fill up your lungs. Exhale, head up. Use the full 6 seconds to exhale. Slowly head back. Elbows touch when your lungs are empty. Inhale, head down. So throughout class, you're trying to synchronize your breath with your body movement so that you're never holding your breath or depriving your body of oxygen. Exhale, head up. Keep your knuckles under your chin like glue. Squeeze your palms together, wrists together, forearms, elbows touch. Inhale, head down. As you inhale, open your rib cage wide, expand your rib cage, expand your lung capacity. Exhale, head up. Even as you exhale, stomach in. Draw your belly button to the back wall, arms forward, away from your chest. Inhale, head down. Let's make this the last breath in the second set. Deepest breath of your life when your lungs are totally full. Surprise yourself. Take in one more sip of air. Exhale, head up. Take your time. Let everything go through the exhale breath. Any worries, any cares, let them go. Be here now. Elbows touch. Good. Change. Arms down. You can roll out your shoulders and head. Half moon with hands to feet pose, Ardha Chandrasana with Padasana. Keep your feet together. Inhale your arms over your head. Palms together. Interlock your fingers. Release your index fingers. Cross your thumbs. Nice tight grip. Stretch up out of your waist and bend right and left, right and left. Every time you pass through the middle, stretch up a little taller. Good. And when you can't stretch anymore, come to stop in the middle. Bring the weight into your heels, contract your thighs, and push your hips a little forward so your hips and pelvis are opening to the front of your mat. Squeeze your palms together up to the wrists and bring your head and arms back a couple of inches. Touch your biceps to your ears. So you want your shoulders, your armpits, your hips, everything opening up to the front of your mat. Nice flat back, proud chest. Inhale, breathing, stretch up out of your waist, try to touch the ceiling. Exhale, breathing, absolutely straight line, slowly bend your body to the right. Without bending your elbows and knees, continuously push your hips to the left beyond your flexibility. You're trying to create a tremendous stretching feeling in the left side of your body, all over, inside out, bones to skin, fingers to toes. Just remember, it's the first posture of the day, and there's no rush, nowhere you have to be, nothing you have to prove to yourself or to anyone else. All you have to do is breathe in and out through the nose. Again, throughout class, things might be challenging, right? You might tell yourself to do things that aren't like the most pleasant in the moment, but that make you feel really good after class, and that's okay. But you're never going to a point of pain, a point where you're like gritting your teeth, a point where you can't breathe through your nose. Let your breath be your guide. If you're breathing normal, if it feels good, get a little deeper at the end. As you inhale, lengthen your arms. As you exhale, come down, push, push, push. Change. Inhale to come up and stop in the middle. Press your hips forward, bring your head and arms back, stretch up tall, and slowly bend to the left as you push your hips to the right, coming down in a straight line without bending your elbows, without bending your knees. Continuously push your hips to the right beyond your flexibility, creating a stretching feeling in the right side body, but don't collapse. Lift your chin. Lift your chest. It's a very proud posture, and you have a lot to be proud of for coming to class today. One housekeeping item, I'm not mirroring you, so it might look like I'm bending to the right when in fact I'm bending to the left. You are welcome to follow my words or my body. Just know that we will do the right side of postures first in this style of yoga. Keep the weight in your heels. Push your hips forward, arms back. Push your right hip forward to get your two hips in line. Now bring your left shoulder forward, two shoulders in line. Come down. Push, push, push. Change. Inhale to come up, stop in the middle. First back bend of the day. Take a deep breath, full lungs. Keep your eyes open and relax your head all the way back as far as it goes. Look for the floor behind you. Immediately arms back with your ears, try to touch the wall behind you. So So whole spine back bending from coccyx to the neck, lower back, middle back, and upper back. Bend your total spine, backward bending. Try to fall down backwards, maximum weight in your heels. Inhale, breathing, push stomach, thighs, hips, everything forward, and bring your arms back. Look back, fall back, way back, go back, more back. Change. Inhale to come up, stretch up. Exhale, bend your knees, go down. Put your hands on the floor, drop your head, and go for a walk. Move your hips, shake your head. This is a U-turn from back bending to forward folding. At the beginning of class, your spine might not be quite warmed up yet. Move your hips to get your lower back nice, relaxed, comfortable, easy, flexible. And another housekeeping item, that back bend is pretty much the only posture that I can't talk and do at the same time. So I will try to part demonstrate it, but part talk through it. So if you look and I'm like talking and not doing anything, that is why. The rest of the time I will try to demonstrate as well as talk you through it. Okay, Padasana, hands to feet pose, drop your head down, bend your knees halfway. You can grab the backs of your calves, your Achilles, or eventually your heels from behind, step on all 10 fingers. Wrap your elbows back behind you, like try to press your biceps into your calves. Touch stomach to thighs, chest and knees, drop your head, maybe face to the shins below the knees. Never force your body, pull on your heels, roll your weight forward into your toes and lift your hips up. Stretch your upper body down from the lower spine to the floor. Pulling is the object of stretching. You're trying to create a tremendous stretching feeling on the back of your body, all over, inside out, bones to skin, fingers to toes, with a smiling, happy face. It's kind of poetic. Pull on your heels, roll forward, lift your hips up, stretch your spine down. Good, change, come on up, arms with your ears, knees can bend, nice, arms down, and you stand a little taller. It's the whole goal. Second set, feet together, inhale, arms overhead, palms together. Interlock your fingers, release your index fingers, cross your thumbs, switch the grip, other thumb, pinky finger on top, so you're switching out your dominant grip. Keep the weight into your heels, push your hips forward, arms back, stretch up, and slowly drop to the right as you push your hips to the left. So the same way that most of us have like a dominant hand to write with, we also have a dominant grip. You might notice that like you always interlock your fingers in one direction, or maybe you never thought about that until you practice yoga, but we try to switch the grip as well so that everything gets a little bit more even slowly over time. Keep the weight into your heels. Relax your jaw and push your hips forward. Suck your stomach in and slide your breastbone up. Take your left shoulder, lift your left shoulder up and steer it to the right like a steering wheel. Come down, push, push, push. Change, inhale to come up and stop in the middle. Hips forward, arms back, stretch up and slowly drop to the left as you push your hips to the right. Weight in your heels, hips more forward, upper body back. Lock your left arm as much as your right arm. Contract your left thigh as much as your right thigh. Push your right hip forward, 2 hips in line. Now bring your left shoulder forward. Open your chest like a flower petal blooming. Come down, push and push and push. Change, inhale to come up, stop in the middle. Second heart opener, take a deep breath, full lungs. Keep your eyes open, drop your head all the way back, and then bring your arms back with your ears. So if the knees or elbows are bending, come up a little bit, lock your legs, contract your quads, keep the weight in your heels. Squeeze your butt and push your hips forward. Keep the chest lifted. Can you squeeze your palms together a little bit more? Nice tight grip, push your hands away from you, bring your arms back, look back, fall back, way back, go back, more back. Change, inhale to come up, stretch up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Try to go down with a straight spine. So you're hinging at your hips on the way down, maybe even touching stomach to thighs. Put your hands on the floor and then let your head go. Move your hips, shake your head, bend one knee, straighten the other. Do try to keep your heels on the floor. So it's the hips and hammies moving rather than your feet. Swaying side to side. Notice what's a little bit more warmed up in the second set and what's still a little tight. There's no right or wrong. Second set, Padasana, hands to feet pose, bend your knees halfway, grab your heels from behind, step on all 10 fingers, wrap your elbows back, try to touch elbows together behind you. I've seen it done like once, maybe it can be you. Touch your stomach to thighs, chest to knees, face to the shins, below the knees, pull on your heels, roll your weight into your toes, and lift your hips up. So you're not grabbing the floor with your toes, you just want the weight solidly forward into the balls of your feet or your big toes. Roll forward a little bit more and lift your hips up. But if the upper body's coming off the lower body, bend your knees a little bit more.
It's a little safer for the back. Roll forward more, hips up more, shoulders up more, lengthen your spine. Good, change, come on up. Try to hinge at your hips as you come up with a straight spine. Nice, arms down, and you let that one go. Go team, awkward Utkatasana chair pose. Step your right foot to the right, 6 inches hip width distance. A lot of folks take a really wide step here. You want the space between your hip bones. That should be the space between your feet, not like the outer thighs, but your hips, right? If you put your hands on your hip bones and look down, that should be the space between your feet. Keep the insides of your feet parallel the whole time. Arms up, parallel to the floor. Tricep muscles tight. Nothing loose or hanging. All 5 fingers together. Suck your stomach in. Bend your knees and sit down into a chair. Feet flat position. Spine straight to begin with. 100% of your body weight in your heels. Sit down halfway only, hips into a chair. Suck your stomach in and lean your upper body back. Depression to abdominal wall, contraction to abdominal muscles, suck it in, hold it in tight. Now lift your chin up, chest up, lean back, fall back, way back. Try to fall down backwards at the end. Change. Inhale to come up, keep your arms there. Push your hips a little forward. And now spread your toes wide, come up maximum on your tippy toes like a ballerina. Stretch up. Bend your knees and sit down. Point your knees forward. Notice if your knees want to come out or in. Keep the knees in line with the ankles. Heels a little higher, knees a little higher. Sit down into a chair, but don't sit below a chair. Change. Inhale to come up. Last part, heels down. Squeeze your knees, your inner thighs together like you have your mallet in between your knees. Don't drop your mallet. Let your heels come a little bit off the floor and slowly sit down. If you haven't voted yet, make sure you have a voting plan. And if you don't know what that is, message me after class and we will have a chat. Squeeze your knees together and forward, thighs parallel to the floor, arms parallel to the thighs, spine perfectly straight from the side. Looks like you're holding a box. Suck your stomach in, relax your shoulders, and change. Slowly come up, push the floor away from you. Good, heels down, right foot back, arms down. Relax your shoulders, your jaw, take a breath. Second set, step your right foot to the right, hip width distance. I'll show you from the side. Keep the insides of your feet parallel, arms up, parallel to the floor, triceps tight. Suck your stomach in, 3, 2, 1, bend your knees, sit down. So you wanna stick your butt out and fold your chest forward, thighs parallel to the floor. Suck your stomach in, lean your upper body back, so a little bit of a backward bend here. Look down, and if you can't see your toes, you're probably coming forward too much. Bring the weight back into your heels, hips back more, stomach in more, lift your chin up, chest up. Good, change, inhale to come up, keep your arms there. Hips a little forward, so notice if you like lean forward or stick your butt out, you wanna tuck your tailbone under like you're tilting a bowl of your pelvis. Now come up all the way on your tiptoes, stretch up, bend your knees, sit down. I was told recently that the Latin word for pelvis is similar to bowl, and it's true. Like there's this idea that your pelvis is a bowl and you want to tilt the bowl forward. Lift your heel a little higher, knees a little higher, keep tilting your pelvis bowl forward, sit down into a chair, but don't sit below a chair. Change, inhale to come up, heels down, squeeze your knees together, let your heels come a little off the floor, and slowly sit down. Stop whenever you want. You can stop here, and this is great. Just work on your balance a little bit, keeping the spine straight, eventually sitting down, lift up a little bit so there's a gap between your butt and your heels, lift your chest, drop your shoulders, and change. Slowly come up. Try to tilt the pelvis bowl forward all the way up. Good, heels down, right foot back, arms down. Next we'll do Eagle Pose Garasana. We will do the right side first. Remember that I'm not mirroring you. Here we go. Inhale your arms over your head. Exhale, swing your right arm under your left arm. Right arm under left arm. You can grab your shoulders and give yourself a hug. You can interlock your fingers or have hands in prayer. Thumbs towards your nose, pinkies away from your face. Pull your elbows down. Bend your knees, sit down. Lean back and bring your right leg as high as possible over your left leg. Cross your legs each other, twist like ropes, eventually wrap your right foot behind your calf. Now, as you wrap your legs, notice if your knees start to point to the left side of your mat, like mine are. Bring your knees to the right, back to center, and upper body to the left.
Keep the weight in your heel. Make sure you're not gripping the floor with your toes. Sit your hips back and down. Pull elbows down. Arch your upper body back. Good. Change. Feet together. Arms over your head. We'll do the left side. Bring your left arm under your right arm. Left under right. You can grab shoulders. You can interlock fingers or have hands in prayer. Thumbs pointing towards your chin. Pull elbows down. Bend your knees. Sit down. Lean back and bring your left leg over your right leg as high as possible. Left over right. Cross twist and breathe slowly in and out through your nose. On this side, bring your knees to the left and upper body to the right. Keep the weight in your heel. If your foot is coming out, sit down more. If you're losing your balance, arch your upper body back. Knees to the left, upper body to the right, twist like ropes. Lean your upper body back at the end. Good. Change. Feet together, arms over your head. Let's do second set. Bring your right arm under your left arm, right under left, palms together, thumbs towards your face, pinkies away from the face. Pull elbows down, bend your knees, sit down, lean back, and bring your right leg over your left leg, cross twist, and breathe through your nose. Push your left hip a little forward, get your two hips in line, right shoulder a little forward, two shoulders in line. Sit down more, stomach in, relax your jaw, look straight ahead, lean your upper body back. Good. Change. Feet together, arms over your head. Last one. Finish strong. Bring your left arm under your right arm, palms together, wrists straight. Pull elbows down, bend your knees, sit down, lean back, and bring your left leg over your right leg. Continue to breathe through your nose. Knees a little to the left, upper body to the right. Notice if one shoulder is higher than the other. Try to drop the right shoulder down. Sit a little lower, right hip down. Pull elbows down, arch your upper body back. Good. Change. Feet together, arms over your head, arms down. Party time. Grab a sip of water if you want. Cheers, friends. So happy to be here with all of you today. Okay. Let us continue. For the next three postures, we balance on one leg. If you fall out, right, that's normal, just hop back in. We say if you fall out of a posture, it makes you human, but if you hop back in, it makes you a yogi. Here we go, shift your weight to your left leg, standing head to knee, Dandayamana Jani Shavasana. Matt's a little off kilter. Okay. Shift your weight to your left leg, lock your left leg, and lift your right leg up. Point your toes, flex your toes, suck your stomach in, round down, and pick up your foot. There's a personality type often associated with this style of yoga, and it is a type A personality, right? We like to know what's coming next. I once had a teacher who said, I love in a Bikram yoga class watching everybody when their mat gets slightly off kilter, they have to fix it every single time. Okay, if you've been coming for a while and your standing leg is locked, no bend, no wobble, inhale, slowly, gently, lift your right leg up. Stretch it forward until your right leg is exactly parallel to the floor. No higher, no lower, standing leg locked. Take a breath, kick your heel forward, flex your toes back. You're training your Achilles to stretch. Make sure you're not grabbing the floor with your toes. If both legs lock, start to bend elbows down. Touch elbows to calf muscles. One day elbows go below the calf muscles. Lock your knee, lock your knee, lock your knee. Change, slowly, reverse, out. Shift your weight to your right leg. Evenly distribute your body weight on your right foot. Contract your inner thigh as well as your outer thigh. Squeeze your right butt cheek. Lift your left leg up, point your toes, flex your toes, keep your toes flexed back to your face. Notice if your knee is going to the left and your heel is coming in. That's a really normal tightness in the hip. Know that eventually heel points down, big toe and knee point directly up to the ceiling. You have an option to stay here or start to round forward and eventually pick up your foot. All 10 fingers interlock. So to pick up my foot, I have to do that hip rotation, but then I'm gonna try to bring the knee up, okay? If your standing leg is locked, so no super bend, but also no hyperextension, right? You want your knee over your ankle, then lift your left leg up. So it's more about like lifting up than it is about pushing your knee back. Keep lifting your hips up and then press your heel forward, flex your toes back. If both legs lock, you should feel tremendous stretching feeling on the backs of both thighs, maybe even a cramp on the top of your thighs, your hand, as your hip flexor engages. If both legs lock, then only bend elbows down. Bring your chest down, so one day elbows go below the calf muscles, relax your jaw, and bring your shoulders down away from your ears. Change, slowly reverse out. You can put your hands on your back and do a little back bend, or a knee bend. Second set, shift your weight to your left leg. Evenly distribute your body weight on your left foot. Contract your inner thigh as well as your outer thigh. Don't forget to breathe. Lift your right leg up, flex your toes back. Remember, notice if knee tilting to the right, foot coming to the left. Knee up, heel down. Stomach in, round down. Pick up your foot. Concentrate, meditate. Don't forget to have fun. Slowly lift your right leg up. And same thing, as you lift, you might find your foot crosses the center line of your body or your heel starts to tilt to one side. Try to get your heel in line with your hip. If both legs lock, bend elbows down. If elbows go below calf muscles, press your hips forward. Slowly tuck your chin to your chest and put your forehead on your knee. Lock your knee. Lock your knee. Lock your knee. Take your time as you reverse out. Good for you. Last one, shift your weight to your right leg. Evenly distribute your body weight on your right foot without gripping the floor with your toes. Lift your left leg up, toes back, abdomen in, round down, pick up your foot. And for those of you where it's hard to like round down with thigh parallel to the floor, you're welcome to start super lifted. I'll show you from the side. So you're welcome to start with your thigh really high in your chest, right? If your standing leg is locked, then lift your left leg up. And from here, you just kick forward. If both legs lock, gotta keep the grip on my foot. If both legs lock, bend elbows down. Elbows go below calf muscles, slowly tuck your chin to your chest. Put your forehead on your knee. Lock your knee. Lock your knee. Lock your knee. Slowly reverse out. Just the way you went in. Good, okay, so that was a forward curl. Next, we're gonna do a back bend, standing bow pulling pose. Feet together, bring your right hand up, elbow touches the body, palm faces the ceiling. Bring your hand out to the right. Give yourself a high five for practicing yoga today. Woo, okay, so keep your palm facing up. Reach back without moving your shoulder, without turning or twisting your wrist. Pick up the inside of your right foot at the ankle bone. Thumb with your index finger. Bring your left arm up and all the way back with your ear. Try to bring your knees together to start, or at least drop your right hip down. Try to start with your hips in line. Lock your left leg. Point your right toes. Take a deep breath, stretch up, and go for it. Charge your body forward. Simultaneously, kick your right leg back and up. Now right away, notice if your hip is lifting up a whole bunch. Drop your right hip down and then reach your left arm forward. This way it's the spine opening up rather than the hips. Slowly come down to parallel. See the foot come over the top of your head. So from the side, two heels in line. Kick back and up until your right shoulder disappears behind your left shoulder. In other words, two shoulders in line. Touch your chin to your shoulder. Shoulder blade scapula coming out of the body. Body down more, leg up more. Kick, kick, kick. Good, change, kick yourself up. Other side. Bring your left hand up, bring it out to the left, reach back without turning or twisting your wrist. Pick up the inside of your left foot at the ankle bone. Thumb with your index finger. Right arm up and back, knees together, hips in line. Lock your right leg, contract your right thigh, point your left toes. Lift your chin, stretch up, and charge your body forward. Simultaneously kick your left leg back and up. Kicking and stretching should be equal, simultaneous, 50-50. The harder you kick, you can balance forever, so kick really hard. If you always fall forward, kick back more. If you always fall back, reach forward more. If you're falling to one side, hips might be out of alignment. Drop your left hip down. Peel your right hip back. Reach your right shoulder forward. Relax your left shoulder back. Body down more. Keep your chin and chest lifted. Kick, kick, kick. Good, change. Slowly kick yourself up. Very nice. Feet together, arms down. Try to hold still for one breath. So much energy flowing through the body. Can you control it? Second set, feet together, right hand up, out to the right, reach back, pick up the inside of your right ankle, at the ankle bone, knees together. So your knees might not come together, but just notice if one hip is way higher than the other. Try to start with your hips in line, eventually knees together. Bring your left arm back of your ear, lift your chin, lift your chest, stretch up tall, and slowly kick, stretch, and breathe. All 5 fingers together, thumb with your index finger, palm of your left hand faces the floor. Get your left arm exactly parallel to the floor, no higher, no lower, standing leg locked. Press your left fingertips forward, relax your right shoulder back, keep your chin and chest lifted. Body down more, chest up more. Try to touch your big toe to the ceiling. Kick, kick, kick. Good, change, kick yourself up. Last one, here we go. Bring your left hand up. You can do it out to the left, reach back, pick up the inside of your foot at the ankle bone, knees together, hips in line, right arm up and back with your ear. Lock your right leg, point your left toes, take a deep breath, stretch up, and go for it. Charge your body forward. Kick your left leg back and up. Notice if your head is tilting to one side, keep your head on straight, literally and figuratively. So make sure you're breathing, you are calm, cool, and collected, even as the heart rate increases. Slowly come down. The more you come down, the more the heart rate picks up, right? The heart muscles coming down parallel to the floor. Chest down more, leg up more, point your left toes, kick, kick, kick. Good, change, kick yourself up. Very nice, come to the back of your mat and towel. Tula Dandasana, balancing stick. Feet together, arms over your head, palms together, interlock your fingers, release your index fingers, cross your thumbs. Bring your head and arms back. So lean back and puff up your chest at the start. Step your right foot forward, lock both legs, point your left toes, lift your left foot off the floor, and slowly tilt like a seesaw, but a very slow moving seesaw. Slowly come down, arms, body, head, legs, everything parallel to the floor. From the side, body makes a T, like Tommy, not a broken umbrella. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Good, change, left foot down, right foot back, arms back, lean back. Step your left foot forward, hi Tommy. Lock both legs, point your right toes, and tilt. This class is always hard for people named Linda or Tom, right? We're always like T like Tom or L like Linda. Slowly bring your chest down, parallel to the floor. Lift your right heel up to the ceiling. Squeeze your palms together, up to the wrists. Point your right toes, stretch. Good, change, right foot down, left foot back, arms down, take a breath. Second set, feet together, arms overhead, palms together, interlock fingers, release index fingers, cross thumbs, bring your arms back. Step your right foot forward, a big step, lock both legs, point your left toes, and tilt. Can you lengthen your left leg to the back wall just a little bit more? Think of your body like a rope in a tug of war. So you're charging your body forward, stretching your left leg back, stretch, stretch, stretch. Good, change, left foot down, right foot back. Here we go, lift your chest, step your left foot forward, contract every muscle in your body, except your face, lock both legs, point your right toes and tilt. So what would it look like to keep your jaw relaxed, your brow unfurled, but the rest of your body contracting? Push your biceps into your ears, suck your stomach in, chest down, leg up, stretch. Good, change, right foot down, left foot back, arms down, give those shoulders a break. Okay, for the next 3 postures, you're welcome to face the long side of your mat. I'm going to face you. This is the separate leg series, starting with standing, separate leg, stretching. Dandayamana, Bikattapada, Paschimottanasana. Inhale your arms over your head. Exhale, step your right foot to the right, big step. Arms down, parallel to the floor. Turn your toes in, heels out, lock your legs, lift your chest, and swan dive forward. Look forward all the way down. So for this posture and the next 2, we're going to be on 2 separate legs, and the distance between your feet is really dependent on you, like your physiology, how your day is going. So don't be afraid to play around with a wider or smaller step.
take a step where you can maybe grab your heels from behind. And if you can't grab your heels, that's really normal. See if you can grab the outsides of your feet. You can also start with your hands on the floor in front of you. Everybody roll forward into the balls of your feet. Lift your hips up, suck your stomach in, and stretch your upper body down. First the leg stretching, then the hip stretching, lower spine, whole body stretching. 3, 60-degree angle stretching, coccyx to toes, coccyx to forehead, touch your forehead to the floor in between your feet. If your forehead's already touching the floor, take a smaller step. If your forehead's nowhere near the floor, take a bigger step. Lift your hips up, squeeze your thighs tight, try to lock your legs. Good, change, come on up, push your hips forward to reverse out. Nice, step your right foot back, arms over your head, arms down. Wonderful, I'll show you the second set from the side, and you really wanna make sure that you're hinging at your hips rather than rounding into it, okay? Second set, stretching, arms overhead. Step your right foot to the right, big step, arms down parallel to the floor. You can play around with turning your toes in more or keeping your feet parallel, toes pointing forward. Contract your thighs, lift your chest, and go forward. Lead with your heart all the way down. If you don't have a heart, lead with your lower ribs all the way down, but keep coming back to yoga. You will cry eventually or in the future. Grab your heels from behind. If you can, grab your heels. Rather than bending elbows out, bend elbows back. Elbows to calves, shoulders to ceiling, stomach in, belly button to spine. Everybody roll forward. So hips up and spine down. You want a nice flat back. Again, if your forehead easily touches the floor, take a smaller step. Otherwise, you can hold right where you are or take a bigger step. Everybody roll forward, hips up more, knees back more, thighs up more, contract your quads, lock your legs, pull, stretch, touch your forehead to the floor in between your feet. Good, change, come on up. Reversing out, push the hips forward to come up. Nice, step your right foot back, arms over your head, arms down. Wonderful. So in that posture, we stretched the spine. In the next posture, we're gonna twist the spine. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Inhale your arms over your head. Exhale, step your right foot to the right. Big step, arms down parallel to the floor. Now remember, the sequence of this yoga is very much on purpose. We're gonna keep stretching the spine, just like the last posture. So push your hips forward, lean your upper body back, and turn your right foot out. Turn it out a ½ inch more until your right foot is parallel to your mat. Left toes point in a little bit. Keep your chest lifted. Inhale, breathing, bend your right leg and sit down. And for a warm up, you can bounce a couple times to gain control, and then sit as low as you can. You might need to take a bigger or smaller step. So eventually your right leg makes an upside down L like Linda. Push your hips forward, keep your spine straight in the middle, and just move your arms. Elbow in front of the knee, stretch down, aim your right fingers between your big and second toe. Don't touch the floor, don't push any weight on the floor. Look up to the ceiling, touch your chin to your shoulder, breathe through your nose. Push your left hip forward and down. Push your right knee back with the help of your elbow. Turn, twist upper body back, like spine twisting posture. Lock your left leg. Keep your left foot flat on the floor. Good, change. Rotate your arms, straighten your right leg, right toes in, left toes out. Get your 2 heels in line. Inhale, bend your left leg and lunge. Now, if your step is too short, you can't sit down very low, right? That's not so fun. If your step is super wide though, you might lose control of your legs. Make sure that your right leg is locked as you sit down. Push hips forward, lean back, and move your arms. If you feel like your feet are way sliding apart, right? Try to squeeze your heels together. Feet stay in place, but that's the inner thigh strength we want to engage. Now, at first, it's really hard to sit down all the way. That just comes over time as the hips open up, right? If you're still up super high, that's really normal. Rather than having the elbow in front of the knee, maybe have the forearm or wrist in front of the knee. So you still get a diagonal line from your ankle to the crown of your head. So you're always stretching, never collapsing. Turn, twist upper body back, lock your right leg, right foot, flat on the floor. Good, change. Rotate your arms, straighten your left leg, left toes in, right foot back, arms over your head, arms down. Good, take a breath. Let's go again, second set, triangle, arms overhead. Step your right foot to the right, big step. Push your hips forward, lean your upper body back, turn your right foot out, left toes in,
Bend your right leg, sit down, lean back, and just move your arms. Elbow in front of the knee, left arm up to the ceiling. It's funny, I've got this like shelf here, and so I always have to do a weird thing with my arms to rotate my arms. And when I was in Georgia the other week and there was no obstruction, I still did it. It's really interesting how muscle memory works, right? So make sure that you're being intentional with your movements because your body keeps score. Look up towards the ceiling, touch your chin to your shoulder, sit down more, keep stretching up, turn, twist upper body back, lock your left leg, left foot, flat on the floor. Good, change. Rotate your arms, straighten your right leg, right toes in, left toes out. So your body is paying careful attention to what you're doing right now. So make sure that you are paying careful attention to what you're doing right now. Inhale, bend your left leg, sit down. Notice if your knee is going to the right of your ankle. You want your knee tracking with your ankle. Sit a little bit lower, lean back and move your arms. Elbow in front of the knee, hovering fingers between big and second toe. Look up towards the ceiling, touch your chin to your shoulder and really reach up. So reach the right armpit up. Stretch the left armpit down. You want to feel a big stretch in the chest. Drop your right thigh down, 1 more inch. Turn, twist upper body back, stomach in, lock your right leg, right foot, flat on the floor. Good, change. Move your arms, straighten your leg, left toes in, right foot back, arms over your head, arms down. Okay, so far in the separate leg series, we stretched the spine, we twisted the spine. Now we're going to round the spine. This is one of those postures, if you have a recent back injury or a history of slip disc, take it easy. Eventually, we'll bring the forehead and knee together. Doesn't have to be today. Listen to your body. Standing separate leg, head to knee, Dandayamana, Vikaptapada, Janushirasana. Inhale, arms overhead, palms together. This time, only cross your thumbs. Exhale, step your right foot to the right, 3 feet minimum, maybe closer to 4 feet. Bring the weight into your heels. Pick up your toes and pivot on your heels to one side of the room. If you're on the long side of your mat, you will face the back of your mat. Turn your back toes in and then push your hips forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times beyond your flexibility. So 2 hips in line, 2 heels in line. Backside foot should turn into at least a 45-degree angle. Push your left hip forward 1 more time for good luck. Stretch up, tuck your chin to your chest, and go down. Round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest, suck your stomach in, touch your forehead to your knee. Now to touch your head and knee together, you might need to take a bigger or smaller step. You might need to turn your back toes in more so you can push the left hip forward. And of course, you can bend your front leg. I always bend my front leg. Tuck your chin to your chest, put your forehead and knee together, front side compression, throat choked, eyes open, breathing normal. Stretch all 10 fingers beyond your big and second toe and bring your weight into your front foot. Right hip up a little bit, left hip forward, 2 hips in line. Push your forehead into your knee real quick, lock both legs. Order of operations, lock both legs. Then bring your hands together and then change, slowly uncurl. The slower you do, the better you do. This is where you're gaining a lot of control, a lot of strength, a lot of balance. Shift your weight into your heels, pick up your toes and pivot to the other side of the room or the front of your mat. My heels get crisscross in transition. Uncross your heels, turn your back toes in, and then you can push your right hip forward until your hips and armpits are square. So again, that pelvis bowl, tuck the pelvis bowl under, keep the right leg locked. Stretch up, tuck your chin to your chest, and go down. And notice if that bowl starts to tilt, right? You want to keep your right hip forward the whole time. It's so hard. When the back is tight, which is all of us, the hips will try to compensate. Notice if one hip starts to lift up. Press your right hip forward and down the whole time so the hips are even. It's the spine rounding, not the hips moving. Bend your front leg as much as you need to touch your knee and head together, never forcing the body. Can you tuck your chin to your chest and relax your jaw? Those things are connected, but not interconnected. But you might need to create a new neuromuscular pathway here. Relax your jaw and tuck your chin to your chest, throat choked, eyes open, breathing normal. Push your forehead into your knee. Order of operations, lock both legs first. Hands together if they've separated.
change, slowly uncurl. Remember, the slower you do, the better you do, gaining strength, balance, head up last. Good, pivot on your heels, right foot back, arms down, take a breath. Second set, arms over your head, palms together, cross your thumbs, maybe other thumb on top. Step your right foot to the right, 3 to 4 feet, a generous step, be generous with yourself, pivot on your heels, turn your back toes in, push your hips forward, and maybe peel your right shoulder back a little bit, 2 heels on the floor, stretch up, tuck your chin to your chest, go down, round, scoop, curl, tuck, concave, chin tuck to chest. Maybe for a balance challenge, try to keep your hands together the whole time, and if they separate, it really doesn't matter, but maybe just try to have the hands together. Bend your right leg, touch your knee and head together, front side compression. Notice if one hip is higher than the other, left hip forward, right hip back, 2 hips in line, throat choked, jaw relaxed, eyes open, breathing normal. Push your forehead into your knee, lock both legs, hands together, change, slowly uncurl as if you're dragging your forehead up your thigh or chest, head up last. Pivot on your heels, and I'll show you what it looks like from the front. So make sure your heels are in line but not crisscross. Turn your back toes in and then really push your right hip forward until your hips are facing forward, right? So if one hip's turning back, push the right hip forward a little bit more. Stretch up, tuck your chin to your chest, go down. In yoga, there's lots of purported Ayurvedic medicine benefits to this posture. I will go over all of them now. So tuck your chin to your chest, push your forehead into your knee. So touching knee and head together is supposed to stimulate pineal gland or third eye chakra. Tucking chin to chest stimulates thyroid, parathyroid, or throat chakra. Pulling your abdomen in massages the front of your body, all of the internal organs. Some people call this posture a marriage of the pancreas and the kidneys. If you suck your stomach in enough, there's this idea that your pancreas on the deepest level of your abdominal wall actually starts to squeeze towards your kidneys on your lower middle back. Now, one of the other reasons why we want to even out the hips is so that you're not overextending one kidney and stretching into the other. So right hip forward, left hip back, 2 kidneys stretching equally. Push your forehead into your knee. Lock both legs, hands together, change, slowly uncurl, right hip forward, right shoulder forward, full stop at the top. Good, pivot on your heels, right foot back, arms down. Come to the middle of your mat and towel. So there's a lot of medicinal benefits to all of these postures. You can believe it or not, but I like to occasionally tell you those things, like supposedly you're stimulating your thyroid gland. Is that true? Jury's out, but what I do know is that a lot of things in yoga are actually starting to be proven through Western science. And in my opinion, in science, we should always cite our sources, right? So we're citing yoga. Okay, tree pose Tadasana. Lock your left leg and lift your right leg up. Bring your knee out to the right. Place your foot on your shin, your knee, your thigh, eventually all the way up. Heel to costume, sole of foot flat to ceiling. Slowly, gently let your right knee drop down and back. Never force your knees. You can bring your right hand up to the center of your chest, and if you can balance, left hand up. Press your hips forward, so again, tilting the pelvis full forward, and lift your chest up. Temporarily eliminate any curvature in your spine, and then just take a breath. Be still. Good. Change. Slowly lower your right leg down. Shift your weight to your right leg, contract your right thigh, and lift your left leg up as high as it goes. Remember that this side might feel different, that's okay. Touch your heel to your costume, and let your left knee drop down. You want to feel it in your hip, but not your knee. If you're feeling it in your knee, you can hold on to your knee the whole time. Eventually, knee drops. Bring your left hand up, and if you can balance, right hand up. My foot slides on this side. I'm going to continue to hold on to my foot with my hand the whole time. Push your hips forward, lift your chest up. If you're grabbing the floor of your toes, relax the toes. Push the ball of your foot down instead, and then stretch up through the crown of your head. Release, change, slowly left leg down. Pick a spot on the floor, 4 feet in front of you, don't move your eyes. Toe stand. Shift your weight to your left leg, lock your left leg, and lift your right leg up. Now, your toe stand today might just be looking to the floor. You're setting an intention with your ocular nerve. Where your eyes go, body knows to follow. This might be enough.
You can bring one or both hands together, stomach in, and when you're ready, fold forward. At first, hands lean forward, eventually, hands to floor. Walk your hands forward, lean forward, lift your heel, keep leaning forward as you bend your knee and sit. No weight in the knee as you sit. Walk your hands back to either sides of your hips, point your right toes, right knee down, two knees in line. Left hand up, right hand up, elbows down, spine straight, come a half inch off your heel. Good. When you're ready, hands to floor, lift your hips up. You can come up on 2 feet or straighten your standing leg and then push your hips forward to reverse out. Good, change, right leg down. You can do the other side just like that. I will also show you an option for how to build toe stand from the floor. So for my seasoned veterans, feel free to go into your toe stand as you see fit. For anybody that never goes into this posture because it's hard to fold forward, there's an alternative. I will show you. So you start in tabletop with your toes tucked under. Bring the weight into your arms, lift one foot and start to walk that foot around, and eventually put your foot on top of your thigh, eventually ankle on top of the thigh. You can stay here or start to walk back, sit on your heel, and now you're in toe stand, right? So you can always build it from the floor. I'll show you from the front, toes tucked under, put the foot on the thigh, walk your hands back, toe stand. Good, okay. From here, change. You can either come out on 2 feet or you can straighten your standing leg, push your hips forward and reverse out. Good, everybody together, change. Honor yourself, give yourself high five, fist bump, turn around, Savasana. We're on the floor for the rest of class. I have some tricks up my sleeve like that. So if there's ever a posture that you're not sure how to get into, just send me a message and I might not have the answer, but I probably have some other questions and we can have fun. Sometimes it's just fun in yoga to talk about how cool it would be if we could do something, even if we're not quite there yet. Oh yeah, it'd be really cool if I could sit in lotus pose, right? You just set that intention. Okay, Savasana, corpse pose. Bring your heels together. Let your toes fall open. Arms down, palms face the ceiling, eyes open, mouth closed. Savasana. Savasana is a gas station. Let it fill you up. So I've always thought this posture was a little bit morbid, right? Savasana, which means corpse pose or dead body pose, but it's effective, right? You're supposed to be really still with your limbs close together. In line with all of that, a little bit morbid, there's this Buddhist death meditation that I love. I've shared this with some of you before, but the idea is you meditate on like, okay, if I was given 5 years to live, what would I do with that time? If I was given a year to live, what would I do at that time? A month, a week? If I was told today's your last day on earth, what would you do at that time? What I like to say is no matter what that time frame is, I always end up in this class, right? Even if we're physically distanced, I always hopefully end up with all of you practicing yoga one last time. And that's because this isn't like a means to an end. I mean, it is, you know, but it's also like the practice of it is joy. If I was just doing this yoga to like trim my waistline, I probably would have stopped a long time ago, right? Sometimes we come for the physical benefit and then we're like, wow, I feel really good mentally afterwards. And I often think it's that part, it's the community or it's the mental health aspect or even the spiritual aspect that keeps us coming back, right? As well as like, my back doesn't hurt as much anymore, stuff like that. So we're getting ourselves out of pain, not just physically, but maybe in other parts of our lives as well. So my hope for you is not to say that, you know, you have to come to yoga every day, no matter what, but that I hope you enjoy this time for what it is, right? Just in and of itself, just enjoying your breath, enjoying your body on the floor. As you feel your chest rise and fall, you may be in corpse pose, but you are so very alive. And I hope this yoga reminds you of that. You are real, right? In a world where we are totally digital, you are real. You are bones, you are skin, fingers to toes, all over, inside out, with the
smiling, happy face. Pavana Muktasana, wind removing pose. Lift your right leg up, interlock your 10 fingers, grab your right shin, nice tight white knuckle grip. Pull your knee out to the right, down towards your shoulder, completely avoid your rib cage. Keep your head on the floor, look down the center line of your body, pull down extra hard, maximum pressure in your lower abdomen, massaging your ascending colon. Fun, change. Right leg down, left leg up, pull your knee out and down and hold. Push the pads of your fingers into the backs of your hands to strengthen your grip. Change, left leg down, both legs up, grab your elbows, each other. Give yourself a really big hug for coming to class. Squeeze your knees together and down. And if you can't grab your elbows, that's really normal. Grab your knees, interlock your fingers, grab your wrists, grab your forearms, but every once in a while, just try, because eventually you will grab your elbows. Heels in line, side by side, not crisscross. Keep your head on the floor, look down the center line of your body, hold still. Eventually, or in the future, when the bone joint skeletal system has improved, the whole spine from coccyx to the neck will be flat on the floor. Good, change, arms down, eyes open. Notice the stories that you're telling yourself in class. Like when I say, eventually you'll grab your elbows, if you're saying in your head, not me, I understand that it's good to be realistic with our expectations of our body, but also like the body does change and the mind changes as well. So notice the stories you are telling yourself about your body, about your experience in yoga. And if it's negative or self-defeating, put that aside, right? Just eventually you'll grab your elbows one day. Second set, right leg up, interlock your 10 fingers, switch the grip, opposite thumb, pinky finger on top, pull your knee out and down. Eventually your knee will come under your armpit. Doesn't have to be today or tomorrow. For today, notice if you're rolling way to the right. Try to anchor your left shoulder and left hip to the floor. If your left calf muscle doesn't naturally touch the floor, that's normal. Flex your left toes back to your face. Change, right leg down, left leg up. Pull your knee out and down and hold still. So you're putting pressure on the lower abdomen, massaging the descending colon. This posture is good for your digestion. It's good for opening your hips and your chest. It's good for grip strength. Change, left leg down, both legs up, grab your elbows each other. If you can't grab your elbows, grab your elbows. If you still can't grab your elbows, at least you tried, right? Eventually things change. Hands together, thumbs with the index fingers, feet together, side by side. Give yourself a big ol' hug for coming to class, head on the floor, look down the center line of your body and breathe. Good, release, arms down and eyes open. Next, we do a straight leg sit-up. If you have any concerns about your back, please skip the sit-up, roll off to the side and meet us on your stomach. I'm actually gonna skip the first sit-up, but I will still talk you through it. Legs together, arms over your head, only cross your thumbs. Flex your toes back to your face, tuck your chin to your chest, take a breath, hold the breath and sit up. Grab your big toes, exhale, exhale again, elbows to floor, forehead to knees. Good. Turn, lie down on your stomach for the spine strengthening series. Starting with Cobra, Bhujangasana, good for your lower lumbar spine. So place your hands on the floor below your shoulders. So your fingers point forward and your elbows point up to the ceiling like grasshopper wings. Zip up your legs like a cobra's tail, toes and heels touch. Lock your legs, look up and lift. Stretch your upper body off the floor, beautiful. Use 100% back strength. Come up halfway only, just your belly button on the floor, the rest of your chest is in the air. Elbows stay bent, they make an L, a 90-degree angle like a rectangle. Where are your shoulders in relation to your ears? Roll your shoulders back and down. Try to stretch your elbows towards your hips. Don't forget about your cobra's tail. Keep your feet together as best you can, toes, heels touch. Lock your legs, push your feet down, squeeze your butt, push your hips down, push your hands down, look up, chin up, chest up, stretch up, breathe up. Good, change slowly with control, lower down, look to your right, left ear on the towel, arms down, palms face the ceiling, toes together, heels fall open. Take an inhale through your nose, and then exhale through your nose. So this posture is called Cobra Pose. And have you ever thought about how a snake is just a spine? It's
Isn't that kind of interesting? Like no limbs, they're literally just a spine. So if you think about, like, if you've ever seen a video or in person, like a snake moving across sand, what do, right? They slither in this weird, almost diagonal direction to move. As a reminder, the more you move your spine, the more mobility you get, right? So if you sit still all day and then you're really stiff in class, well, of course, right? That's why we're moving the spine. So the more you start to lift up in cobra pose, the more spinal mobility you get, like in your day-to-day life. It's kind of nice. Second set, bring your chin forward, hands on the floor. So one day maybe you can slither like a snake, feet together, toes heels touch. Cool party trick. Lock your legs, look up, and lift. So you want to feel the back muscles waking up. Notice if your feet or hands are coming off the floor, that comes later. Push your feet and hips and hands down. A little bit of resistance. This is a nice back bend. It's a great way to open up the back muscles, strengthen the back muscles, and we're starting to stretch the fascia across the chest. Keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. So you're not dropping your head down, but you're also not jamming it all the way back. Feet together, feet down, lift your chest up. Good, change. Slowly lower down. Look to your left, right ear on the towel, arms down, palms face the ceiling, toes together, heels fall open, breathe in, and breathe out. Good, locust, Shalabhasana. Bring your chin forward, arms straight position, rotate your shoulders and arms, so palms face the floor, knuckles face the ceiling, thumbs outside, pinkies inside. Start to walk your hands underneath you, eventually arms underneath your torso. Remember that you have 2 sets. So especially in the first set, if the arms are out to the side, that's really normal. Never force your body. Lock your right leg, eyes open, point your right toes, and lift your right leg up to a 45-degree angle, half of 90. See the foot come directly over the top of your head. Stretch your big toe back. Bring your right big toe up and the right pinky toe down a little bit so the sole of your foot is flat to the ceiling. Can you lock your right leg a little bit more? Lift your thigh up. Good, change. Slowly right leg down. Relax your right leg. Lock your left leg, point your left toes, and lift your left leg up. Imagine the foot's coming over the top of your head. Now notice if your hip is lifting way up and your foot's coming to the right, drop your left hip down so hip and forearm touch, spiral your inner left thigh up, relax your right leg, point your left toes. Change, slowly left leg down. Third part, tuck your chin and mouth down. So you want a neutral neck here, so mouth down. Bring your arms a little bit closer underneath you, spread your fingers wide, grab the floor with your fingertips. Feet together. Squeeze your butt, lock your legs, point your toes, and lift both legs up. Come up, everybody come up, you can do it. Struggle a little harder, don't give up. Feet together, knees together, press your shoulders down, squeeze your butt, lock your legs, lift your thighs up. Good, change, slowly lower down, bring your arms out, look to the right, left ear on the towel. So this posture is called locust pose, like a swarm of locusts. It's very biblical, I know, very, very timely these days. But there's many different versions of locust pose throughout yoga, as well as like acrobatics, contortion, circus, like people in circus do this posture a lot. There's many versions of it. Bikram's is the hardest. Our palms face the floor, our legs are locked, our feet are together. Second set, I will tell you a little bit of a trick. Take a moment and let your feet open up. See if you can lift up a little higher and then bring the feet back together. Just a little bit of a trick, and you might find that you come up a little bit more if you separate the feet for a second. Okay, here we go. Chin forward, arms straight position, flip your palms down, bring your arms underneath you. One day pinky fingers touch, but hands never overlap. Lock your right leg, point your right toes, and lift your right leg up. So it turns out locust pose is actually the third part. But again, this style of locust is so hard that we do a warm up, lifting one leg at once. Change, right leg down, relax your right leg, lock your left leg, point your left toes, and lift your left leg up. So see how high you can lift one leg, and then internalize this moment. Anatomically, this is how high you can lift both legs at once. Change, left leg down, third part, tuck your chin in, mouth down, bring your arms a little closer underneath you, squeeze your butt, lock your legs, point your toes, lift both legs up. And for a second, separate your legs and see if you can come up more. Now bring your feet back together, toes, heels touch. And if that's easy, separate your feet again and see if you can come up a little bit more. Now bring your feet back together, squeeze your butt, lock your legs, lift your heels up. Good, change, slowly lower down, arms out,
look to the left, right ear on the towel.
So maybe that helped, maybe that didn't, but again, just little tricks. It's not really cheating. I wouldn't recommend doing it every time, but I hope sometimes just by opening the feet for a second can lift up a little bit more, and then you really start to feel it in your back. Okay, take a breath, slow inhale, slow exhale. Good, bring your chin forward. In Bikram, we say like the right way is the hard way, but every once in a while, if you've been doing locust pose for 10 years and you're barely coming off the floor, that's when I say like, don't cheat, but just like do it a little different, like other styles of yoga, and then maybe you feel something different. Full locust, Purna Shalabhasana, feet together, toes, heels touch, arms out to the side like airplane wings, feet together, lock your legs, point your toes, look up and lift. Arms, body, head, legs, everything lifts off the floor. 747, taking off. Just your hip bones on the floor, the rest of your body's in there. Now there's a reason why we keep the feet together, right? This is called the spine strengthening series, not the spine flexibility series. I bet if you separated your feet here, you could come up more, but then you're like losing out on that strength in the middle back, right? So this posture, lifting the thighs and chest off the floor at the same time, is so good for back strength. Lift your thighs up, feet together, chest up, look up, come up a little higher at the end. Good, change, slowly lower down, tuck in your wings, look to the right, left ear on the towel. So when the back is tight, which is all of us, the hips try to compensate, right? That's why the knees start to bend or the feet come apart. If you can keep your knees and feet together, then all of that power, all of that strength gets held in the back, almost like a dam, right? And then you can really strengthen the back muscles. Second set, bring your chin forward, arms out to the side, feet together, toes, heels touch, lock your legs, point your toes, look up, and lift. So if you ever Google like yoga for back pain, this posture is in every single sequence, right? You're strengthening the back muscles. It's also a great way again to open through the chest and shoulders. Keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine, so you're not dropping your head down or jamming it all the way back. Feet together, fingers together, thighs up, chin up, chest up, look up, come up a little higher at the end. Good, change, slowly lower down, tuck in your wings, look to the left. As you inhale, feel your rib cage expand. As you exhale, let your chest and jaw soften. Okay, Dhanurasana floor bow, chin on the floor. Bend your legs and grab your feet from the outside. All 5 fingers together, thumbs with your index fingers. Squeeze your butt, point your toes, look up towards the ceiling, and start to kick into your hands. Continuously keep kicking without stopping, without intermission. It's the kick that drives the posture. If you're way back on your thighs, roll forward once, freeze between your ribs and your hips and hold still. Do little sips of air in and out through the nose. Notice if your knees are way wider than your hips. Again, that's your hips trying to compensate for a tight back. I'm right there with you. Bring your knees in, and if your feet are touching, bring your feet out. So ankles and knees in line with the hips. Look up towards the ceiling, keep your neck in line with the rest of your head. Kick, kick, kick. Good, change, slowly lower down. Look to your right, left ear on the towel. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Bring your chin forward, bend your legs, grab your feet from the outside, point your toes, look up and kick. I like to say this posture helps me make good decisions outside of the room. If you eat a Big Mac right before class, this is not pleasant, right? So this posture is good for back strength and spinal mobility. It's also a digestion posture, right? You're on your stomach, bring your knees in, feet out, wrist straight, point your toes, look up, kick, kick, kick. Good, change, slowly lower down, look to the left, right ear on the towel, take an inhale, take an exhale. Good, bring your chin forward, put your hands on the floor, push up, come to the top of your mat and towel, fix firm, Supta Vajrasana. I'll show you from the side. So start in tabletop position, open your feet, open your knees. You can stay here or start to walk your hands back. Now, if you have tight ankles or knees, this might be as far as you go. You can have your hands in front of you, beside you, or even behind you the whole time. Eventually sink your hips down between your heels. Make sure toes pointing back. If your toes are pointing way out or way in, that's ankle tightness. We want to work through it, not around it. Toes point back, insides of your feet parallel. If you can sit between your heels comfortably, put your hands on your feet. Keep your knees on the floor. Right elbow down, knees never come off the floor. Left elbow down, never going to a point of pain. Head back, head on the floor, tuck your chin in, neck, shoulders on the floor, arms over your head, grab your elbows each other and hold. Wherever you are is perfect. You want a gentle stretch through your toes, ankles, knees, and hips, but never a point of pain. Good, change. Put your hands on your feet, push yourself up. Head up last, turn around, Savasana. Head to the front of your mat, feet to the back of your mat. So if you have like a knee or ankle injury or repetitive stress injury, maybe if you're like a runner or a basketball player, this posture might be hard, but it also helps you do those hobbies that you love longer, right? So again, if you're a runner, if you like play a contact sport, if you like to ski, this posture helps you do that longer, even if you don't feel like you're going super far into it. Okay, you can skip the sit up by rolling off to the side, or legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Ooh, okay, turn, come to the top of your mat and towel. Second set, fixed firm. Open your feet, open your knees. Slowly walk your hands back. Slowly sink your hips down. Put your palms on your soles. Right elbow down, stopping anywhere you feel a point of pain. Left elbow down, knees never come off the floor. Head back, chin in, neck, shoulders on the floor, arms over your head. If that's easy, walk your knees back together, but knees never come off the floor. Change. Put your hands on your feet. Push yourself up. Head up last. Turn around. Savasana. Let's go again. Legs together, arms over your head, flex your feet, squeeze your seat, sit up. Okay, come towards the back of your mat and towel for half tortoise, Ardha Karmasana. Sit knees, feet together, hips on your heels. I'll show you from the side. So we're still stretching the ankles, right? Arms over your head, palms together, cross your thumbs, stretch up and go down. You're welcome to place one or both hands on the floor and walk yourself in. Otherwise, going down, feet together, forehead to floor, little fingers to floor. Tilt your pinky fingers down, squeeze your palms together. Try to get elbows and wrists off the floor. As you inhale, reach your arms forward. As you exhale, sink your hips down. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Change, feet together, arms over your ears, stomach in, nice, arms down, turn around, Savasana. If going in and out, arms to the ears is like too much, remember you can always walk yourself in and out of the posture. It's not better or worse, it is simply different. So too with sit-ups or rolling off to the side, it is not better or worse to roll off to the side, it is simply a different motion with your body. So you can roll off to the side or legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Good, okay. Come to the back of your mat and towel, second set, half tortoise, knees, feet together, hips on your heels, arms over your head, palms together, cross your thumbs, stretch up and go down. Slower you do, better you do, feet together, forehead to floor, little fingers to floor, reach your arms forward, sink your hips down, re-energize, reorganize, revitalize. Change, come on up, stomach in, nice, arms down, turn around, Savasana. Okay, let's do it. Camel pose, the highlight of your Saturday. Legs together, arms over your head, flex your feet, squeeze your seat, sit up. Okay. Going in with an open mind, open heart, come towards the top of your mat. I'll show you from the side. Stand on your knees, 6 inches between your knees and your feet. Put your hands on your waistband spine, thumbs outside, fingers down to the floor. Maybe bring the elbows in a little bit. Keep your eyes open. This is the setup. You can stay right here. When you're ready, mouth closed, look up towards the ceiling. If this feels okay, lift your nose, lift your chin, and eventually drop your head back. You can stay here or keep your hands on your back and go back halfway, freeze in the middle. You can stay here with your hands on your back, or right hand down, grab your right heel, left hand down, grab your left heel, thumbs outside, fingers inside, full palm grip on your heels. If you can't grab your heels yet, please keep your hands on your back. It is much safer for your spine than to just have your arms dangle. Push your hips forward, lift your chest up, drop your head back, look for your toes behind you. To reverse out, place your hands on your back first, and then change. Come up by pushing yourself up, head up last, good, turn around, Savasana, head to the front of your mat, feet to the back of your mat. Let your experience be your experience. Sometimes we feel a big rush of something. Could be an emotion or a physical sensation or a psychedelic sensation. We're opening the front of the body. So part of the body, especially the solar plex nerve system, it gets really tense and tight. And when we stretch it out, our nervous system literally makes us emote, right? So it can feel kind of weird when we're doing it, but it helps us stand a lot taller when we leave the room. Second set, legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Good. Come to the top of your mat and towel. You can open your knees a little wider. And if you have tight knees, roll up your mat a little bit so there's extra padding under your knees. Open your knees, 8 to 10 inches between your knees, 6 inches between your feet. Put your hands on your lower back. Push your hips forward, squeeze your butt. Keep your eyes open, look up. You can bring your elbows close together behind you. When you're ready, head back. Eventually go back halfway. Eventually right hand down, left hand down, thumbs outside, fingers inside, full palm grip on your heels. Push your hips forward, lift your chest up, drop your head back. Look for your toes behind you. Change, put your hands on your back, push up, very nice, turn around, Savasana, let the floor hold you up. Breathing in and breathing out. So I have to tell you guys, this book came out recently. I haven't read it yet, but I think we should all read it. The name of the book is Burnout, and it's all about feeling burnt out, which I suspect most of us do in one way or another during COVID. But I haven't read the book yet. I want to, but there's a great podcast where Brené Brown interviews the two authors of the book. I just listened to it. I can't recommend it enough. Google like Brené Brown and then Burnout to listen to it, but so much about what we talk about in yoga with like emotions living in the body in a real sense, right? In a nervous system sense, in a sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system sense, they do such a good job of talking about it. And then they talk about how things like breathing, like yoga, like laughing, like crying, like giving yourself a hug, how those things actually really like biologically help to calm the nervous system, right? So it's really great. Google Brené Brown, Burnout. Maybe we can do a book club. Okay, moving on, legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. But reading it or listening to it, I was just like, this is everything I talk about in yoga, but said so much more eloquently than I can. Okay, come to the middle of your mat and towel, Rabbit Sasangasana. Sit knees, feet together, hips on your heels. Make little L's with your hands like bunny ears, and then grab your heels from the outside. Stretch up, tuck your chin to your chest, go down. Now, if you have a long torso, short arms, a big butt, if you're like me, all three, you can't quite grab your heels on the way down, right? That's normal. Forehead to knees, top of head to floor. Once your head is on the floor, now reach back, grab your heels. Don't lose the grip on your heels. Pull on your heels and lift your hips up. If there's a gap between your knees and head, you can walk your knees up one by one, but head stays in place. Squeeze your heels together. Lift your shoulders up, press your hips forward, stomach in. If your grip is sliding and your feet are coming off the floor, ease up. There's very little weight in your neck and head. Change, hips down first, slowly uncurl, vertebra by vertebra, disc by disc, head up last. Very nice, turn around, Savasana. Okay, take a breath. Go again, legs together, arms over your head, flex your feet, squeeze your seat, sit up. Good, second set, rabbit, knees, feet together, hips on your heels, make L's with your hands, grab your heels from the outside, stretch up, tuck your chin to your chest, go down, round your spine, scoop your pelvis forward like the bowl, tuck your chin to your chest and lift your hips up. So you're tilting the bowl forward, trying to bring hips closer to ribs, lift your shoulders up, squeeze your heels together, press your hips forward, round your spine. Good, change hips down, slowly uncurl, take your time, coming out with control. Beautiful, head up last, turn around, Savasana. That's one of those postures for me where like coming out of it actually feels better than the posture itself. Like just a slow uncurling feels like a massage for the back. So in that posture, we rounded the spine, and in the next posture, we also round the spine. And in every sit up, we round the spine. Legs together, arms over your head, flex your feet, squeeze your seat, sit up. Elbows to floor, forehead to knees. Good. So lots of opportunities here to engage the abdominal wall, stretch the back. Right leg out, left leg in, Janushirasana, head to knee pose. Inhale, arms overhead, stretch up. Exhale, turn to your right, tuck your chin to your chest. Interlock your fingers, pick up the ball of your foot, and touch your forehead to your knee. To get your knee and head together, you can bend your right leg as much as you want. You can really have your thigh all the way into your chest. Just tuck your chin to your chest and bring your forehead and knee together. Good, change, arms up, left leg out, right leg all the way in, stretch up. Turn to your left, tuck your chin to your chest and go down. So practice the grit for standing head to knee tomorrow, even if that means you need to bend your leg up a little bit more. Interlock your 10 fingers under the ball of your left foot, flex your toes back, bend your elbows down, right elbow down, right hip down, roll into the right. Change, arms up, both legs out in front of you. If you're skipping sit up, stay here. Otherwise, lay down on your back and sit up. Paschimottanasana stretching, I'll show you from the side. Bend your knees, hook onto your big toes with your middle and index fingers, thumbs on top, scoot your butt back, right, left. So in rabbit pose, we rounded our spine. In the sit-up, we rounded our spine. In head to knee pose, we rounded our spine. So now we want to keep a flat back for this one. Rather than rounding your spine to touch knee and head together, arch your spine. Imagine you're going to hook your ribs over your knees one day. Knees can stay bent to keep a flat back, fold forward. If your legs are straight, lock your legs and fold forward. Stomach to thighs, chest to knees, one day head and toes touch. Good, change, come on up, turn around, Savasana. So it can be tempting to round the spine in that third part as well, but if you think about how many consecutive head to knee motion postures we do, it makes sense that there would be one where you would like lengthen the spine, right? It's a nuance. You're stretching the spine rather than rounding it. Legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Good. And I think especially in English, that nuance is confusing, right? Because rounding and stretching the spine sound similar. Right leg out, left leg in, arms over your head, stretch up, turn to your right, tuck your chin to your chest, go down. But Sanskrit and yoga, I think, explain it a little bit different than in English. So this is called head to knee pose, and it's more about compressing your abdominal wall than it is about stretching your spine. So it's really about squeezing the stomach in tight. Left elbow down, left shoulder down, roll into the left. Change, arms up, left leg out, right leg in, stretch up, turn to your left, tuck your chin to your chest and go down. If it's easy to touch your forehead and knee together with a bent leg, keep going, straighten your leg, lock your leg, bend elbows down, right elbow down, right shoulder down, so both sides of your back round equally. Change, arms up, both legs out in front of you, lie down on your back, let your spine realign and sit up. Paschimottanasana stretching, bend your knees, hook onto your big toes, scoot your butt back, right, left. You can pull your butt out from behind you if it helps you, it helps me. Stick it out, lift your chin and chest up, stretch up, and start to pull. Pulling is the object of stretching. So again, you want to lengthen your spine here. Head to knee pose is about compressing the front of your body. Stretching pose, Paschimottanasana, is about stretching the front of your body, right? So your core is your front and your back, and you want to lengthen both sides here. Stomach to thighs, chest to knees, one day toes and head touch. Good, change, come up, turn around, Savasana. So it's a little bit of a nuance. I think it makes more sense like in Sanskrit versus in English. Legs together, arms, I'm laughing at myself. I don't know if that makes any sense. Legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Good. I like to think I have moments where I'm eloquent and others where I'm not. Okay, bend your left leg on the floor, Touch your right heel to your left knee corner, sole of your right foot on the floor, point your left toes. If you are sitting on your left foot, slide it out of the way, roll to the right. Place your right hand close behind you. Inhale, lift your left arm up. You're gonna make a circle motion, rotating the shoulder, and see if you can grab your left knee with your left hand. Maybe walk your right foot forward, hand, heel, and knee touch. Inhale, stretch up, stomach in. Exhale, look over your right shoulder and twist. You can keep your right hand behind you for balance. If it's easy for you to balance, take your right hand off the floor. Whoa, grab your hip, your waistband, one day your inner thigh, practicing a half bind. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over your right shoulder, twist, twist, twist. Feels so good. Change, unwind, swap out your legs. I'll show you from the side. Bend your right leg on the floor, touch your left heel to your right knee corner. You are also welcome to have your right leg straight out in front of you. Left hand close behind you, like thumb pointing in. Right arm up, make a circle, shoulder rotation, and over. Eventually grab your knee. Okay, so notice if you're leaning way back, very casually, sit up tall. Okay, inhale, stretch up, stomach in. Exhale, look over your left shoulder, twist. Point your right toes, keep your left foot on the floor. Knee pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. You can keep your hand behind you or do the half bind. Keep spine straight, chest up, rib cage open. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over your left shoulder, twist, twist, twist. Good, change, unwind, turn around, Savasana. We start 26 and 2 yoga, focusing on our lungs, and we end the same way, focusing on lung health. Kapalabhati breathing, final breathing exercise. Legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Wonderful. Come to the middle of your mat and towel. Sit well. You can sit knees, feet together, hips on your heels. If it hurts to sit on your feet, don't do it. Sit on your butt, crisscross applesauce. Every once in a while, see if you can sit on your feet. Notice the stories you are telling yourself. Sit well, arms strong. Exhale through your mouth. As you exhale through your mouth, snap your stomach in. When the stomach relaxes, the lungs automatically take in air. Pretty cool. Lick your lips, swallow a couple times. Concentrate, meditate. Don't forget to have fun. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lick your lips, swallow a couple times, sit up tall. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good for you. Honor yourself. Give yourself a hug, high five, pat on the back, turn around, relax, final Savasana. Close your eyes, open your arms and legs. Be still. If you have things to do, go ahead, go do those things. But if you don't, or if you can make a little time, make a little time. Maybe a 5-minute Savasana. Ooh, go wild. Maybe a 10-minute Savasana. Whoa, watch out, right? If you have time, just enjoy. So every posture we do in yoga, we use the word posture, but in Sanskrit, the word is asana, right? So this is Savasana. Before that, we did like Janushirasana, Paschimottanasana. They all end in asana. We often translate asana to mean posture, but it's a 3-part translation. It's a posture held in stillness with breath through your nose. And here's where it really gets cool. The etymological root in Sanskrit for asana is similar to that of a stool that you would sit on. And the idea is that this yoga, these asanas, are in service to the idea that after yoga, you can sit still, as if you were just sitting on a stool, sitting still with breath in and out through your nose. Posture and stillness with breath through your nose. So if you have time to really practice that in final Savasana, do it. Practice a little bit of stillness, a little bit of breath, and a lot of relaxation. Let your body sink down. Let the floor hold you up.
Picture yourself in perfect, radiant health.